Well, hello, my silky friends. Hello, Lowlight. Can you hear me?
I sure can. How are you?
I'm good, but my camera is glitching now.
It is.
That is insane. My camera has never glitched.
Yeah.
I mean, it's glitched like, mid whatever in the stream, but not
Yeah. You didn't
glitching like
download any
this.
browser updates lately, did you?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I don't think. I don't know. This literally only happens with you.
Yeah. Yeah, that is weird.
If it gets too bad, I'll just turn my camera off.
Okay. Let's
But
see while we're talking here.
y'all, is the outside of my camera glitching? I don't know. I'm gonna make this bigger if I can so you can see it. Can you see that better, low light?
Let's
The
go through it.
comments.
Well, yeah, I just saw your camera was glitching. I can see everything. Let me see here. We got Evil Alaska, Buckeye Clay, Artist Dawn, and Dawn. Hey.
Hello,
But
hello.
yeah, your camera's definitely glitching.
All right, I am going to try to see if I've got a loose cable somewhere. So
Okay.
just keep talking, low light.
All right. How's everybody doing? I hope you're well. I hope all the craziness is missing you. It's definitely.
Is it crazy for everybody?
I think so. For some people, I think it's even crazier for Nick McClelland and Judge Gull right now, though.
Yeah, really.
Can you imagine having to like sign an order that says that like everybody that comes in and out of this building has to be searched?
Exactly. What the heck?
Yeah. Tell us you're scared without telling us you're scared.
Well, I'm going to go over some things that I found, and I think they have reason to be scared. I would. Hey, Daniel Barry. Whoop, whoop.
I think so
All
too.
right. Okay, I'm not glitching anymore, I don't think. Just so you know, Lowlight, I am the Batman, and I'll fight you on that.
We need somebody that's going to go in there and bust heads is what we need.
I'm up for it.
We have enough lawyers. We need people that are going to go in there and just...
I agree. Hey, Carol. I really wish my font was bigger on this. I might have to put my glasses on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, let me just ask you before we get into all this, because I've got a lot of stuff I want to look at. But what has been so far? Well, we haven't done a show since last week. Okay, since the last time we attempted this, what has been the biggest surprise or thing that's happened with Delphi that you didn't anticipate? Is there anything?
Well, there's nothing I didn't really anticipate. I think what's interesting are some of the phone stuff that's coming out now, and pretty much like on my Twitter feed, I'm only following like the people that are covering Delphi, with just a couple of people, like maybe some journalists that I'm trying to reach out to. But it's just a lot of that. Like every time the prosecution or the state releases anything, they have like 10 lawyers coming through their stuff and thousands of people watching. So I've just been paying attention to that, and like some of the phone stuff is pretty wild. I guess seeing some of the people who are complaining about maybe the photography or the video, some of them are probably feeling pretty vindicated, right now, because they've been out there for a long time saying this stuff, and now there are professionals that are vetting that work, and it's not looking good.
Yeah, it's not. And I mean, that's the thing. Even I had even emailed myself a link to a certain picture of Abby, and I can't even remember what it was now. I had it in my folders, and I went to get it when I was preparing for the live tonight, and it has been removed from YouTube. And I'm like, dang, that's only been like maybe 2 days.
Yeah.
And but that's the thing.
What video was it?
I guess it was just a certain picture because I put pic. I think it was just something from a video that I wanted a picture of.
Okay.
Oh, I know what it was. I know what it was. Okay. And actually, it's a friend of mine. I'm going to see if I can reach out to her and see what happened, why that video is down.
Yeah.
It was a video of, and just in case she's catching flack, I don't want to say who it was, but it was somebody that put the, not the 911, you know, that when they did the aerial stuff and they had the, you
Okay.
know, the background, they had the chopper feed and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, one of my friends, I went back to a video of hers from several years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and I was listening to it again, and then I had a thought. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't make sense. And I just forwarded her video, the link to her video, to my email so I could pull it up
Yeah.
and just say, hey, listen to this. And it's gone, just gone. Crazy. You know, there's a lot of them that have audio feed, but now that I'm thinking about it, one of the reasons that I had that on there is I got to thinking about, I was listening to when, well, first they had a report that there was, the girls were found in the water. John Weaver said, and nobody knows, that's the thing, low light, nobody knows who John Weaver is. He's like a mythical character. Yeah, he really is. And so everybody's like, okay, we know this Weaver and that Weaver, but who is John Weaver? I don't know. And of course, they said that it wasn't confirmed that they were found in the water. And so I kept listening, and I'm listening to the part where Tobe Lesenby is talking about the dogs. They're waiting for the dogs. And then I'm like, okay, but he called the dogs off. And here was my thought, okay? I thought initially, you know, maybe he thought, okay, we don't need search dogs to find them because now we've found them. But he was still waiting on the dogs. But wouldn't you, Lowlight, even though you knew they were found, wouldn't you want the dogs to trail where they came from, who brought them there, any other sense? And wouldn't you want the dogs, once you had the full picture and they're already en route, so you don't have to call them off, en route, wouldn't you be thinking, okay, if you truly believe that those girls were taken from the bridge, that side of the bridge, wouldn't you want the dogs to sniff and see exactly, because everybody's just assuming they went down the hill this way, they crossed the Deer Creek, which I don't believe. I believe that's a bunch of crap. I don't believe they crossed the creek. But wouldn't you want the dogs there for any sense and to find the exact location? Okay? Because now you know you have a crime scene. So you need to know where it starts, where it ends, and who possibly, you know, what direction they came from. So I got to thinking, people have really given Tobe lots of heck about this for years. But it seemed to me that the only reason that you wouldn't have the dogs there and you would call off the dogs is because you don't want anybody to know where they were, what route they took.
I can think of one other reason.
Okay.
And that is that they did trace those dogs. And the dogs they did use the dogs to track the girls. And they came up to a place where they had gotten out of a vehicle. And that's where the trail stopped. And so there was no reason to have the dogs there. I mean, I'm just pulling that out. I'm just speculating. I don't know. I'm just thinking that that's another reason. And then, of course, there could be like, hey, we don't want these dogs following, but I don't know enough about dogs, and I don't know enough about like that whole like the police, I don't know, procedure and that sort of thing to know.
I mean, it could have been.
I mean, alone. That's a I don't know what to think about that, but like in the big picture of, everything that happened then.
Mm-hmm. I guess I was thinking, okay, initially you could say, call off the dogs. We found them. They were trail dogs. They were hunting, like they were trained to find missing people, I assume, because they were police dogs. Um, so, you might say initially, hey, wait a second, let me call off the dogs because we've already found them. But then, as an investigator, as a law enforcement professional, wouldn't you even just, if you had already call back? I would have called back and said, hey, you know what? I had a second thought. Let me see what information the dogs can give us. But what if they knew where the dogs were going to lead them? That's my question.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it's my contention. I mean, it's looking more and more to me like, and just like there was a general understanding of who and why immediately.
I don't know what.
Like that's not really something that I don't know. I would, but that's the sense I get listening to early interviews between family members and Doug Carter and that sort of thing.
Hey, I'm trying to catch for some reason
Okay.
go ahead.
So I'm just I'm looking at the comment section right now. How's the sound? Are we echoing?
I think we're sounding good.
Okay, good.
I just can't, for some reason, my chat is tiny and I can't get it to get bigger. That's why I've got my glasses on. Cadaver dogs can pick up a scent within minutes of death. They could have possibly tracked Bridge Guy's movements afterwards with the girl's scent left on him. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It could have picked up something else. So wouldn't you want to know? I'm just, but that's me. If I was investigating, if I was legit investigating something, I would want every possible scenario, every rabbit hole checked out, But we're going to look at a lot of stuff because I think what surprised me the last week is that there are so many documents, so many papers that contradict each other. I'm like, okay,
Sure.
What the heck then?
Sure.
What the heck?
Yeah. And for a state that will go after someone like Click over 10 pieces of paperwork.
Right.
Who knows?
They said you're low on sound. Can you turn your volume up a little bit?
Okay. I am clipping over here, but all right. How's that? Okay, 1 second.
I'll see if I can turn you up from my end. No.
How is that? Is that better?
Is that better, y'all?
Should be better.
Yeah, it's crazy.
71 gain. I don't think you want it higher than that, really.
Maybe I'm just too loud. Oh, well, wait a second. Let me turn my mic down. Okay. Test. Okay. I may have been drowning you out because I was playing with my... Look, y'all, we were ready to start at 7, but the equipment was doing its thing again.
Yeah.
And it was insane.
And it's so strange because I'll stream alone or with someone else, have a conversation. Nothing happens until I get on with you.
I know. And we even went to his Rumble account,
It did the same thing.
And it did the same thing. It's like when we're together, it's like, I don't know. It's weird.
We better call the corners to do some weird spooky stuff before.
Send out the dogs.
Yes, who does says he still really can't hear me. Is anybody else having
I've got you all the way up on my end.
Yeah, that's wild. All
right. Wait, let me get way back here. What about that? Or I'll move my microphone and then y'all can turn the whole volume up on your device. Maybe? All right.
No.
See, I hear you off of my computer just fine.
Yeah, okay.
But I can't use headphones, which is weird.
I'm telling you, It's these gremlins. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll try to be louder.
You know, the thing of it is like you said, it doesn't happen with you and anybody else, and it doesn't happen with me and anybody else.
Yeah.
So what the heck is going on between our? I don't know. It's weird.
Well, I think that, like, typically, whatever. I am dangerously close to this mic, Robin. I appreciate that. He
All right.
needs to yell. I'm
Oh
so
my
sorry.
gosh.
Yeah, because I'm coming in so hot that I'm clipping over here. I can see it. I'm clipping.
Well, I'll turn mine down some more too.
No, I don't think that's what it is. I don't know what it is.
Well, at least we've got some kind of sound coming out because earlier we
His
didn't have
equipment is
anything.
crap, Sanders says. I wish that's
Oh
what it
my
was.
gosh.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's wild. It's totally not my equipment. Tell you that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I've been having issues, but yeah. All right. Okay, this was from, and I know you probably saw this one. I know everybody doesn't see everything, so I try to get a lot of information and shove it together so you can look at it in case you haven't seen it. Judge Jessica says, "Why does an office volunteer and file organizer have her own Orion investigator profile and the ability to clear leads?" Okay, so I'm not as upset about her having a login or whatever to Orion as far as being able to put information in there. But how can you clear a lead? And let's see, I'm going to make this bigger. All right. So, and we're talking, of course, about Kathy Shank. And as y'all, a lot of y'all know, her daughter did some Facebook post years ago talking about, she had loyalty to Ron Logan. I don't know. I don't know what's up with, were they just friends? Were they family friends? I don't know what's going on there. But it's very sus, isn't it? Because here's the thing. It's not just that Kathy Shank is the one that turned in Rick Allen and said, "Oh, here's a tip from 6 years ago." But it's this right here. And this is, I'm sorry, I'm going to have to put on my glasses and I know I get a glare, but here we go. Now, this is disturbing because this is January 6th of 2023. All right? Now, you have to think about it. Rick Allen was arrested in October of 2022. So this is literally it was practically November. So this is basically from October 31st is when I think it hit the news. And then this is January 6th. So we're talking about basically 2 months. Now, at this time, the investigators, ISP, Nick McClellan, everybody is saying, "Oh, yeah, he's guilty, but we're looking for other perpetrators." In fact, they went in that vein for quite a while. They said he didn't do this alone. We're looking for more people. So it's odd to me that she's up there discontinuing leads on what could have happened and all the people involved. Now, at this time, we know Ron Logan was deceased, but still, they were looking for the whole group. But she discontinues this, and she said, due to no follow up with Ricky Davis. Well, whose fault is that? Ron Logan passed away in January of 2022, and so I guess low light, when you pass away, you are no longer guilty of anything. I guess all of your crimes are exonerated, and you can't be. I just thought that was weird.
Well, it's weird.
And then down here it says covered by Kathy Shank on behalf of Jay Harper, who let's see, right here it lead to ISP investigations locate and interview Ricky Davis. All right. And the investigator there named Jay Harper. Okay. But I guess Kathy did she just override him? I don't know. Now, this one, it says it had a file attached, had a file scanned and entered as an attachment. I don't know if this is this right here. A lot of it's redacted, but this is basically saying that Ricky Davis is given a tip, blah blah blah. I'm not going to read it all out there, but it talks about his confession. All right. I don't know. I just looked at that and I thought, yeah, who gave Kathy Shank, if she is indeed a volunteer, okay, a volunteer file clerk, and I'm not saying she didn't contribute to the case, but you're going to give her the ability and Orion to close down Ron Logan and Ricky Davis?
Well, her daughter seems to think that she's a pretty powerful person, and often says things to people about her mother, is going to destroy them and this, that, and the other thing. So there might be more to her than meets the eye. I don't know, but I feel like someone put Richard Allen on their radar and said, figure it out.
Well, I think that's the thing that bothers me, because in court, secondhand as it was, but you got the impression from the trial that Kathy Shank is just this little retired lady, and she's just helping them because they're overwhelmed with tips. And, she's just like a little old lady just volunteering. She's the sweet little lady from, where is it, Pasadena or something like that. Like she's just the nice little grandma that's helping. She's not involved in any way. She has no dog in this fight. That's the way it was presented. That's the way I took it, because that's the first time we ever heard of Kathy Shank, or at least it was me. And so I'm like, okay, well, Miss Kathy was quite a busy little bee, according to her granddaughter again, and the papers. I'm just saying, it was one of those things that just kind of make me a little bit uncomfortable.
There's been a lot of that this last week or two.
Hey, Ninja Assassin, Criminal Network. Hey, Four Pits, what you doing?
Yeah, so Criminal Network says, hey, Criminal Network, hey, Four Pits. She's part of the criminal justice system in Carroll County for decades. Yes, that's what I get.
I didn't know that.
I get the feeling that she's an operative there in that area. I mean, she's a political operative. She gets put in a position. She knows what her position is. She's there to do some things, and that's what she does. There's probably official duties, and then there's probably off-the-book duties.
Yeah.
So is the sound any better? And I would like to know how well she knows Judge Fouts.
Exactly. Or any of them. But see, that's the thing. If the jury heard it the way, and I think I did listen to Defense Diaries some on the replays, but I mostly listened to Andrea Burkhart because of the time that she came on and the time I could listen, and a recap of the day. And listening to Andrea, it sounded to me like she was just this sweet little lady volunteering her time. Which, when you think about it, I mean, you think somebody has to have an emotional reason for it. Because this wasn't just like, oh, I went in once a week for 2 hours and helped them file. This was, I was here every day, year after year. So obviously, that part made me think that she had some, but it's in your town. It's 2 little girls. You would be emotionally involved. But yeah, it wasn't, I'm just saying for me, and if the jury heard it the way that I understood it, I'm completely misunderstood Kathy Shank.
And I was reading through the click, PCA and some of the other materials recently, and I haven't really gotten that deep into it as far as investigating, but go ahead.
4 pits, yeah, and you're right. See, thank you, my little brain, because I did a whole chart on this. Shanks, I know Fouts and Abigail Diener. I didn't know Shanks had anything to do with it, but they created CASA, which is, or the chapter there between, isn't it Carroll and White County that go together now? But it's for juveniles. It's, for kids in the system, blah, 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 troubled home lives. It's their court advocate, okay, is what CASA, and we've got KAJA here as well, for strictly, I don't know, I guess younger kids. I'm not really sure. Judge Thompson, yes, thank you, artist. Judge Thompson, married to Stephanie Thompson, who strangely died in one of those infamous house fires in Indiana after she had done the polygraph on, which one was it? Not Erskine. It was
Field's sister, I believe.
Oh, did she do that one too? I'm thinking
Well,
about
I
the
don't
Flora
know.
guy.
Okay, I'm thinking of someone else.
All involved. Flora, Delphi, a lot of the same characters. But basically, yeah, that came. Oh, I hate it that when, let me see if I can move
No,
you
don't worry.
somewhere
It's
else.
fine. Well, it's
I
your
just, I
stream. You do
hate
whatever
it
you want.
every time.
You do whatever you want. It's all right.
I hate it that you're covered up every time I
I can
highlight
move
something.
to a camera-less, anyways.
Carol, White, and Cass. Okay. New improved CPS. All right. So there's that. Let me go back to, that was just one thing I was looking at. And I'm going to share, some of
this
this.
is another one of the good ones. There's Sleuthies.
Yeah.
There's that's a good one.
This one?
Sure, that's, I mean, but while I was looking, I skimmed over that today, and I remembered like saving that to look at before, but typically when Sleuthy puts something down, it's for effect.
Oh yeah, Sleuthy's the best.
Yeah,
she's the best.
Well, that,
but yeah,
but there's there's quite a few people that are pretty intimidating in the community, and when you have that many people, if you just switched it around and from their perspective, like they've just tried to do some really maybe shady stuff that happened 1,000 times before, but this time when they did it, like people noticed.
Yeah.
and they're just coming no matter what, in spite of intimidation and everything else. And so they're locking down courthouses and they're doing body searches now. It's great.
Yeah. So this list, just for, I know most of y'all, I have some people who are really dig deep and you always know all this, but some people don't that are in the chat. These are the list of exhibits that they did not say were confidential. Is that correct? Am I saying that right, Low Light?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm old too, and my eyesight, I'm like looking at those little ants on my screen.
I know.
I'm like, I'm trying to look at chat, and then
I can't really make it bigger. I'm trying, but it's just not. It's not. Okay. But anyway, there's a lot of things, and I'm not gonna read them all, but here are a few things that we should, and there's photographs and all kind of stuff. There are things that we should have access to because they were not labeled confidential. And so when people are asking for public access to some of this stuff, they're like, Judge Gold is like, no. Everybody's no. All right, so you have the Todd Quick affidavit, his letter to McClelland, the Todd Quick summary attached to the McClelland letter. I would absolutely love to see all of those. The DNA documentation, absolutely. Liggett's autopsy notes. Now, I find this very interesting because Liggett is law enforcement. So, what was in the autopsy that he was writing down?
Well, I've always felt that there was a public and there was a private done. I think the public autopsy report has enough errors in it that, to warrant that. I mean, they said as much as saying that there was just some things that they just filled in, some things they didn't. I'm pretty sure. I don't know. I can't prove that, obviously, but that's my feeling. I think everyone's feeling was that Abby had a phone.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was kind of like, oh, this teenager is going to walk around without a phone. She's just going to borrow her friend's phone all the time.
No.
What if a boy gave her that phone? Was like, hey, this is our phone.
And let me tell you something. I hope I'm right, because there were a few creators who I was listening to a couple of years ago that were absolutely fantastic. And one of them had a lot of info, and her whole channel, she's just gone. Everything's gone. But the other one, True Crime Design, one of my favorite people for exposing, getting a hold of stuff and really making you think. And I think it is TCD that has the papers like this that show. Now, this is a good while after the crime, but there were papers where they, I think it was Becky Patty that was requesting phone records, the Apple records for Libby's phone. All right. Because, it's a big deal. You know how it is with phone companies. They're very private about this stuff. And so she had to do a formal, long written request of why she needed this. But also, Anna Williams did the same thing for Abby for Google. So they said she had a tablet. It wasn't just the tablet, but in that paper that TCD has, I believe, it says a phone. So you're going to tell me Abby didn't have a phone out there? No. No. If a teenager has a phone and they're breathing, they're on the phone.
I wonder if some of this has just been completely hidden from us, because there's that motion, is it Ad Limey?
Yeah.
Where anything that would lead us to believe that there's a third party suspect are the phones part of that. And it might have just been covered under everything, and the defense attorneys couldn't say anything publicly.
Yeah,
I literally, that's just me speculating. I have no idea. But you know what's cool about this community is, like, by tomorrow we could have an answer from like 15 different people that know exactly.
Yes, we could.
Just drop that one on Twitter or Reddit or wherever, and we could boom have that answer. And
yeah. And I'm not going to spend a long time on here, but if you look at these, and I retweeted them. If you want the link, I'll send it to you. But there's just a lot of things. They obviously had pictures of Brad Holder, Patrick Westphal, all kind of, things from Facebook, blah, 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 sketchy pictures. So, again, I had it there. Just let me go back to where I was. I retweeted this because I wanted the list, and I probably have it in documents somewhere, but God only knows. This is interesting, and I'm not really going to spend any time on this, but this is interesting. It's on my page somewhere.
this is one of my favorites.
Yeah. I think low light, it's just because it's not as interesting to me now, because I've been, over my head in this case for a couple of years, and I already know this. But yeah, it's a great chart. I don't know who made this chart, but I'm very glad they did, because, like, you can see, you've got 4 witnesses. It's like they're describing at least 3 different people, don't you think?
Oh, well, anybody but Richard Allen.
Oh yeah,
they literally describe. Looks like Criminal Network's driving an intel drop there in the.
Yeah.
All right. Anyhow, so yeah, like your yeah, this chart is excellent.
It is, especially if
tomorrow,
you're
actually.
Right. I mean, if you're even just on the jury and you're looking at this chart, and if they had had the opportunity to look at it, I think it would have made it really apparent. Hey, wait. We've got 4 witnesses, and this is what they said. They all contradict each other. I mean, how do you get up, from this one up here, Black Jeans from Rayleigh Voorhees, to Sarah Carbaugh, who says whitewashed jeans? Well, those are like way different. But yeah, I think when you look at the descriptions here of all the witnesses and Richard Allen, it's like, hey, wait a second. It's pretty obvious it's not Richard Allen, okay? Despite what
Yeah.
they say. Wait, hold
Yeah.
on. Let me go back down. I don't know what I was doing.
You notice a lot of these people, these Prof calls them the troll farm, are just, they've slowed down. There's only one of them that's really kind of maintained any kind of pace, and he doesn't really cover Delphi all that much. It looks like he's
Really?
kind of pivoting to something else. But there were people that were streaming every night. But like the more news comes out, the worse this looks for the state, and they're just not streaming as much anymore. I've reached out to some of these people, and they're keeping their heads down.
I have not reached out to anybody, but I did. I did my time in contact with a troll farm. So there's nothing that they can say to sway my opinion. Let's see. Oh wait, I'm way behind on all this. Let me see what y'all are saying.
Well, Criminal Network, I wonder if that disregarding Ron Logan is a tactical decision.
Go ahead, keep talking. I'm just putting this up here so everybody can see.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that's good. That's
yeah.
All the people. See, I'm telling you what, like some of the people that follow this case just they get a hold of something like a pit bull and they know everything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not nothing. Yeah. They're looking at institutional corruption, DB might say systemic. But they're all looking at the same information.
Yeah. I actually, and one of the things I really do want to go over, because I'm going kind of quick through this, I swiped something from Prof's community page, and I really want to look at that. I was reading all that stuff, and I'm like, holy Moses. Like, why? I look at this stuff, and I'm like, why are we actually here? Hello, Evil Alaska. Guarantee Kathy the Hero Shank was involved with every family in this case and cover up when she worked for CPS. See, there you go. Those are links that y'all, beautiful people in Indiana, know. Like, you're there. You know these people. It would be the same if it happened in my county. I'd be like, well, I know all these people.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Thank you so much, Criminal Network. Let me make sure. I think I put up all of the things that you typed. So when y'all want to see that, whatever, I might come back and swipe
Network.
it. What's up?
Oh my. I was just laughing at what Criminal Network says. He says, I go by locals and known facts. Recent studies have proven that I'm always right. Have you making any money off this, Criminal Network? You making any money off this? Where's Mar? There's Mar. Hey, Mar.
Yeah. Hello. I am behind on the chat.
No, the intel drop is great. I just hope somebody can copy paste all that so I can grab that next time. Because I tried and I was unable to, so.
Okay. Yeah. Who was that? Evil Alaska.
You were saying that, Prof was asking, like, why are we here now? And you were wondering the same thing?
Oh, really? I haven't talked to Prof in a while. He's like, I haven't talked to anybody really because my work schedule, just getting everything. I've got a lot going on in my personal life and stuff going on with the house. And it seems like every day when I say I'm going to go live, I have somebody come in to do something, look at something. It's crazy. Yeah. So I need to get back with Prof and see where he's at because I don't even get to watch his stuff.
Well, he's going in. He is going in. You know.
Oh, I'm sure.
You just need to hear like 5 minutes of it to really hear where he's. And I think he's Indiana resident, right?
Oh, Prof? No.
Oh, okay, good.
No,
I was wondering why
no,
he
no,
was so
no.
safe. Okay.
No, he's
I was
he's
gonna
far
say.
away. It's
Good.
crazy. The first time that Prof and I had a private conversation on the phone. My God, this was before the trial. It was months before the trial. I don't even know.
Yeah.
And we just started talking. We had 5 hours, 5 hours of both of us just going down every rabbit hole. What he knew, what I knew, what he wasn't going to say, what I wasn't going to say, and it
Yeah.
was insane. I'm like, my God, this is so good. I wish, except for a few parts that we can't say, I wish we had recorded this whole conversation because it was fire. It was fire.
Well, yeah, you should do that. Like I've got a kind of a collection now that are sitting in a reference thing, and I don't know. Like I said, there's so many people that know so much about this case that aren't necessarily like public facing. That I have just amazing conversations with some of these people, and they are just a wealth of knowledge. My Twitter DM is my new favorite place. Like,
You know what? I didn't even know Twitter had a DM. Are you serious?
direct messaging. Yeah. Yeah. Now there are some people you can't, like if you go on to direct message, like some celebrity or something, like a check mark. A lot of times it'll say, "Hey, if you want to pay to be a check mark, you can do that." But
yeah, I did that. I just got verified.
Yeah, I considered it recently when they were down to like it was on 40%.
Yeah. The reason I did is I'm not streaming there live. I had it set up and then I didn't know what was causing the bugs. And so I pulled it just to YouTube. Instead of, I had it going to be streaming to Facebook and Twitter. But, I didn't appreciate, I was never a Twitter person. I hated it most of the time it was up. And then the Delphi trial, that's the only way you could get information. And I began to really, really see the value in X. And now, oh my God, I love it. I stay on X all the time. I'm just constantly, looking at stuff, going down rabbit holes on all kind of subjects, and then being horrified. Oh my God, what? I'm so mad. But anyway, hello, Ben Aaron.
Hey, Ben.
But let me go. This is just one little blip, and I just wanted to play this one little thing. It's only a few seconds, but I think she has a really good point. If you haven't heard
behind Abby, and suddenly he was right up beside her, like instantly. It was
okay. Yeah. And that's basically what this is. Let me see if it'll go in the right spot.
In this particular case, law enforcement enhanced the video and they showed a different video. It was also disorienting because there's a video, you see the guy walking, which didn't really appear in the first, but then it looks down and looks back up, and there's the man right behind Abby, like right there. And like, whoa, how did he move that fast? That's the first thought I had. How did that happen?
Exactly. And this is why, again, I have to wonder, what was the jury thinking?
Like, well, obviously that Bridgefoot is not bound by space and time, and so it just worked for them.
Neither is, and I do believe this is mentioned in another thing. I'm gonna bring this up when I get back to.
It was very confusing in the enhanced version.
Sorry.
How the man was really far behind Abby.
We do need that video, Criminal Network. We need that video.
And suddenly he was right up beside her, like instantly. It was
okay.
I don't know, but you're right. Like Lawyer Lee and the lawyers we have, like it's just a wordsmith. They can say in like 5 words what it takes me 5 minutes.
Yeah, me too. But that's the other thing, and I don't know because I did a whole video on this, and I can't remember the man's name that took the video because this was like 2.5 years ago. But I do name it in an old video, and I saw the footage myself. I don't think I played it because I didn't know.
It was very confusing in the enhanced version how
Look, I am
the
not
man
I'm
was
not
really
touching
far
this.
behind Abby, and
I
suddenly he
am
was right up
literally not
beside her, like
touching this.
instantly. It was
I guess.
Get any emails lately?
Not
Any
that I've
DocuSigns?
opened.
No DocuSigns?
No. I'm trying to find the volume. I can't even turn it off. Let me just put it up somewhere else. Okay. I don't even know. But no, have you seen or have you heard tell of? I have seen it. The drone video that had the heat signature the night of the search.
I excuse me for I have not seen that. But they saw a heat signature?
They did not. That's
okay,
the
well,
thing.
I was going to say that FLIR at that time of night is going to pick up a dead body, even if it, a person is dead, all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be relative to what's around it. And unless you're on rocks, it's very easy to see you. Like they don't have, they like the high speed, low drag tier 1 operators. I mean, these people might have something that defeats FLIR, but
yeah, that was the thing because in that video, and I think it was he said he flew the drone until nightfall because then he didn't have lights on the drone. But you can clearly see people walking, looking, you can see deer moving through the woods, and it was one of those things that, absolutely proving that even if the girls had been in the water, even in that freezing cold water, there still would have been a heat signature just a couple of hours later before dark. There is absolutely no way. Now, I will tell you something interesting. That guy's video was up on YouTube for a while. I watched it several times. And it's now gone. It has disappeared. And his explanation, I think originally he said they would have been found, that they would have shown up. But then you can tell when he was under a lot of pressure because he starts saying, oh, well, I guess I just didn't have the drone in the right place. Maybe it was close, but not actually there. And then it just disappears. So, but yeah, you're not going to fool a drone heat signature, what, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and now it's like 5.
They're made to go find that person that's missing. And if you're missing 2 little girls, like, back to the drawing board, this is not, like that's its whole purpose. It has one job, to find those 2 little girls.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, for pits. They've been railroading people for decades.
So
it's sad no one could stop them.
That I've been really thinking about lately is just like how many Richard Allens are there in Indiana? And
a lot.
I was talking to someone last night, and we might have a situation where Richard Allen is just the tip of the iceberg.
It would not surprise me. And honestly, have you had a chance to get around to watching? I think it's.
Hey, Lindsay.
If I'm not mistaken, it's R&M Productions that did the whole story on Jesse Snyder.
Oh, Linda. Oh, yes. Yeah. Yeah, I talked to her, 2 hours and 30 minutes about Jesse Snyder. So.
Hey, Linda Kay. But yeah, there you go. That was a Richard Allen prior to Richard Allen. Jesse Snyder. So yeah, it goes to show you that the culture is they just keep doing this crap.
Well, yeah, I don't think that's I think change is coming. I think that
I hope.
Yeah. Look at how they're acting. Look at how they're acting. And you look at the rhetoric coming out of the incoming FBI director. Things are going to happen.
I hope.
R&M does rock. She's suffered for this. She's been in it as long as anybody else.
if it wasn't RM, look, I think y'all in the comments, you know what video I'm talking about, but yeah, I was horrified. Um, you know, so many of y'all, um, and I've heard it in other communities as well as this one. You say, I am never going to get this involved with a case again, ever. And I second that. I may cover a story deeply and just look at, but I am not going to let myself get emotionally involved in any
Yeah.
other case but Delphi. Because I can't. This is, and I can, kudos to y'all who've been hanging in much longer than me, I came in with Richard Allen. Y'all were hanging out years before that. And, wow. I mean, and I have to believe, low light, that we will find justice at some point. And kudos to all y'all. It's because of y'all that this case is still, and people are still talking, people are still upset, we're still looking for answers. I mean, think
Well,
about how many people never get that.
yes. And this might be, and I understand, like, there's some, I don't know. There's a lot of inertia going, or at least it felt like going in one direction for a very long time. And, Criminal Network says you don't cross the thin blue line in Indiana.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's, I think this whole thing with Click, and tomorrow, if anybody wants to give me any support over on Rumble, it's the virtue signal in Rumble. And I'm doing a thing. I'm going in. And if you're giving me death threats, it's just going to make me louder. So I'm
What
going to
time
be
are you
streaming
going
like
on?
7 a.m. to maybe, whenever I'm done. And I'm just going to cover Delphi stuff. But yeah, I'm sorry. It's just I'm not putting up with that anymore. Like, you can threaten me all you want, but
So is that like a second channel for you, or
yes.
what?
Yeah, so I wanted to keep it away from the recovery stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to find a way to keep those two things separate.
Yeah, I get it. That's why I have two channels. But yeah, I'm gonna have to subscribe. I'll probably be up at 7 a.m. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm not working tomorrow, but I will be up. All right, I want to share with y'all some stuff. Let me see if I can make this any bigger. I hate to.
Eastern Time Zone V.
Oh, that's gonna be 6. Well, I might still be up. Okay, let me reset this. This came right from Prof. From his I know probably most of y'all love Prof in here. Some people dislike Prof. Prof and I are friends, and he does, I'll say this, whether you don't like him or not, that's your business, but he's got some top-notch stuff. So that's what we're looking at. And this is one of them. Okay. So these are things. I mean, look, here's just a list of things that, well, let me go back. Okay, this is the discovery receipt. What? January 30th, 2024. Now, y'all have to remember when Gull kicked Rosie and Baldwin off the case, they had to return everything. And then in January, they had to get it back. And we've talked about the state that they said it came in. But here are some things in this discovery. And you can kind of see why there's a lot of things they probably didn't see. But look at this. I love this so much because have I not been saying for forever that picture, I don't believe that picture, the supposed one, on Libby's phone came from an iPhone because it's not good enough. It is not good enough for an iPhone. It's not it doesn't have iPhone quality. Even a 6S, okay? Because my son had a 6S or maybe just a 6 back in 2017 and I had an LG V10 and we were comparing pictures, the photographic, and I liked mine, he liked his, but I can tell you one thing, they were both incredible cameras. And no. Uh but here we go. FBI trail cameras. Trail cameras. Although they've said, what, for years? No, it wasn't from a trail camera. There's no trail cameras down there. Well, this would seem to refute that. Trail camera photographs taken of the crime scene. Well, guess what? If a trail camera took a photograph of the crime scene, it would take a very clear picture or somewhat clear picture of the perpetrator, would it not?
You'd think.
At least you'd have.
You'd think, yeah.
And here's the thing. If there were only one perpetrator, okay, committing these crimes that would be caught by the trail cam, and there would never be a reason for law enforcement to tell us that we're looking for the other ones. We're looking for more than one person. More than one person did this.
Right. And this is where, we can just look at them and say, look, we know you're lying.
Exactly. Slick Nick
stop
McClelland.
talking, because when you talk, no one believes you. Just get a lawyer.
Right.
You have the right to remain silent.
Anything
Whoever's
you
been
can.
looking the other way while poison has been flying into your neighborhood, just enjoy your C-130 flight down to wherever you're headed.
Exactly. Oh my God. I'm like, this kind of thing, there's so many like this, but again, it's common sense. And I've always said, I believe the Mears had trail cams. I know Ron Logan had to have trail cams because that man knew exactly what happened on all of his property. He was vigilant. That's just his personality. He knew everything that was happening. And they were all looking for trespassers, right? So they had the trail cams up. So you would absolutely know from the very beginning how many people were involved. And pretty much what they look like. You wouldn't have to have used Bridge Guy and called NASA and Disney and made this stuff up, interpolate it. Why would you? You wouldn't. Because you have trail cameras, and this is not the only one. Oh my God. I read this and I'm like, holy smokes. Yeah, lie.
Well, there's like the missing FBI reports from...
Did I switch
Have we seen any FBI reports or DHS reports from how many? There was like 40. I don't want to misspeak. There was a lot of FBI agents. They were on the ground when the girls were missing.
Yes.
Where is that? So, I think this might just be something we weren't really supposed to see that had crept through.
Exactly.
Like it's evidence of federal involvement, but I think recently it was number 31, I think, in a video that All Eyes did where, one of the things that we don't have, number 31, was DHS reports.
And some of the stuff that he doesn't have highlighted here, also interviews and phone extraction, and then there's some other photographs. This says this file was too large for successful upload to eDiscovery. Same with these photos. Okay. But, some photograph files were too large. So my question is, when you've got all of this stuff, you've got terabytes of information, then you've got all this stuff mislabeled or thrown in there willy-nilly, did they even have a chance to get that? Like, if it was too large, did they actually ever receive these things? Like, we don't know. It makes me wonder. But there's some more stuff. Okay, this. There's some, actually, when you read this, there's there's so much good stuff in here, but he has highlighted, and this is important. There was it labeled as 8106, a pole camera at Mears Farm Gate. Okay. Then 8107, another pole camera at Mears Farm Gate. Okay. From 421 to 427. It's 2017. My question is, I'm assuming, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that those were not new. And if they were new and they were put up after, then why would you put this in discovery if there wasn't something that was pertinent to the case? You see what I'm saying?
I hear you. I wonder. I just wonder how much of this the defense really has, and how much of the first trial they spent in anticipation of this appeals process.
Right.
They may have just gone in knowing that, it was a foregone conclusion with everyone involved. And they were trying to get as much information out as they could during the first trial for the second trial or for I don't know. But there seems to be enough evidence of federal involvement that, some people have been saying on Twitter lately, like, how do we know, we know anything? Like, why are we trusting anything that these people are saying? That's a fair question. Like, why are we relying on anything that they have to say? And I agree with Criminal Network there that this thing was solved on the 14th. I agree 100%. I'm with you.
That it was solved on the 14th.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Probably. Robert,
I
I've
think that was part of the frustration that the family felt. They were expecting arrests right away, but Doug Carter was having dinner night after night with Jay Abbott and coming back and telling them that there was something different about this case.
Exactly. Oh, Doug.
Old Doug.
Oh, Doug. Beware of Doug. Did you see that picture? Did I put it up the other day that I had on that I retweeted? Somebody put up a sign, "Beware of Doug," like you would do a "Beware of Dog" sound.
I'll have to look that up.
I'm like, that's perfect. All right. Thank you, Criminal Network. I did not know this. Okay, I did know. I'm gonna get too loud here. Kathy Shank owned an appraisal company in Florida. The Patties did appraisals. I did know that Becky Patty did the appraisal for Galen Rose's house, or the house that she was renting. I was aware of that. I did not know that Kathy Shank also owned an appraisal company in Florida. That's another one.
I probably heard that. Like there's all these connections, and I tell you what, if you can, you've talked to Meow, right?
Oh yeah,
you did a video with Meow. Okay, yeah.
Meow and I've had many. The thing of it is maybe the only case that I could get, and I have to back off Flora because I don't know why that case. I've done a few videos on Flora, and I know a lot about Flora, but I get so emotional. I either start raging and screaming, or I start crying, and it's very hard for me to do even a video on Flora because I get so angry about it. But yeah. Let's see. Very interesting though. Okay. Very interesting. Thank you, Criminal Network, for putting that up there. I didn't know that about Kathy Shank. All right. There's some more papers.
Hey, Tammy.
Wait. Where are they at? Why isn't my computer? Oh, there we go. Okay. Now here's some other stuff, and there's a lot of names in here that I haven't heard. And I'm just going to tell you, low light, I'm not going to be able to say one of these names with a straight face. So
Nipple?
just yes, my nipple. I don't know what to say. That is a very unfortunate name, and I don't know why you haven't changed it. But
Well,
I guess the
one of the parents, the nipple 1 and nipple 2, named their child Harry.
I mean, I guess if you come from a long line of nipples, you just kind of, you're proud. They're the proud nipples. I don't know. I read that and I'm like, how am I going to say that? I'm glad you said it first. Because I was like, you can do this. You can do this. All right.
Yeah.
The nipple guy. And definitely a name that we would remember. How could you forget that name? All right, but here are a compilation of data contained in, this is Exhibit 8110. The files on this hard drive contain a Delphi flip phone found under the bridge. Again, if somebody came there after the date, after the time of the crime, and why would it be in discovery? If there was nothing pertinent to the case, it wouldn't be in discovery, would it? Unless they're just trying to confuse you. But we do have the LG phone. Let's see, Cellbrite, blah, blah, blah. Amazon tablet, pink case. Now, these could have been given to the family as well, but that definitely, this one found under the bridge. I'm like, what's that about? And then you see all of these things, SIM card. But here are, okay, it says Pearson SIM card 2017 to 14. So that would be Daniel Pearson. What's on Daniel Pearson's SIM card that has, because people say, no, he wasn't there. Other people say he was. But that's the question. If it's in discovery, then there's something on there. Voorhees, Wallace, Wilbur, Wright, Young. Okay. Logan Holder. And then I like this. Yeah, the persons of interest. Anthony Schatz, we know about that. Bob, is this Shode? I don't know how you pronounce his name. Brad Holder, Eugene McKinney, Glenn Cunningham. These are names that I'm not familiar with. Kevin Stewardson, Larry Wayne Ray, Mike Nipple, Patrick Westfall. And then you have the tower dump. But I don't know who these people are. So y'all in the chat, it's just names, most of the names are people that haven't come up.
Well, I've done some looking into some of these names, and a lot of them are involved in the local extracurricular activity community.
Okay.
There's a lot of heartache in that community.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so if they're involved in that, then there were a lot of people. We can surmise that day, unlike Robert Ives didn't seem to think people would be down there, but there were, apparently. If you're picking up, you've got data from all this as evidence, these people were here somewhere during the time. My question is why? Why were all these people down there on a Monday afternoon? I mean,
yeah.
It doesn't seem like you'd go
Sounds
there
like
for the
the
first
only
time.
one not killing anybody was Abby Libby and Richard Allen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's I don't know. So
all
Artis
right.
is down there talking about, mentioning something about another one of these families that Case by Case is talking about, and I think she's got some interesting stuff recently too.
Who?
Case by Case.
Oh yes. I just saw, and actually, I think I wasn't at work on the computer. I don't know what I'm talking about, but I did. Sometime this weekend, I came across a live stream. Of course, I couldn't watch all of it, but I was skipping through it. I was so impressed with what Case by Case was bringing. I was like, dang, that's good stuff. It was really good. Excellent job. So if y'all are not subscribed to Case, and it's going to be CASE and then X, like times. It looks like Case times. I mean, I know what it means, but that's the way you'll find her on YouTube. So yeah, definitely go check out that channel. Good stuff. Fire over there. Also, okay. Now we're looking at Exhibit 8111. Hoosier Harvest Store footage. Okay, well, and Dan McCain's photos from the trail. What was Dan? Okay, we know he was out there taking photos, but it would be very interesting to know what was and what was not on those photos. Because if he was on the bridge, as he said, and there are no leaves on the trees, you would think that perhaps he could have had the crime been perpetrated at that time in that place. You would have thought that there would have been some odd things to show up on a camera. I mean, okay,
all
and
of
then
it would have led to a third party conclusion. It would have all confused the jury.
oh yeah, of course it would have. But there's no nexus. Jeez, no nexus at all.
No.
Okay, so then we have also. I mean, look at just all these things.
All
these cell phone
is one
extractions.
prison pocket tutorial video for
What?
Gull to have to
Oh.
do full body searches, cavity
Prison.
searches of everybody coming in and out of there. Just start talking about that openly amongst one another. And boy, I tell you what, they will shut that county down so fast.
It's interesting that you say prison pocket. I know exactly what you mean. But for those of you who do not know, I'll say this gently. Prison pocket is unlike your jeans that have regular pockets. When you're trying to bring contraband into a facility, you use a
place God gave you?
Yeah, you use a space. Internal space in your body.
Yeah.
Okay. To put things, and you would not believe the things that we have retrieved from the prison pockets. Even loaded weapons. Loaded. Like, are you serious?
Well, imagine what an enterprising person could do
Exactly.
if they wanted to record any illegal activity in the Allen County. You know, I'm not suggesting anyone do that.
No, of course
But
not.
they might want to start checking.
But ladies, just know, and men,
Yeah.
that's the way it's done. If you ever find yourself in that position,
I don't know. I bet these people are starting to look at their secretaries and their legal assistants and their coworkers with a little bit of suspicion. You know, like, is this person gonna blow the whistle? Are they gonna cross the thin blue line? I think somebody's going to. I think somebody's gonna crack. They all see what's coming. So I'd rather be blowing the whistle than holding the bag, for sure.
absolutely, I agree. For Pitts, from what I know of all the neighbors that lived that had houses in that area, just from what I've heard from people, I think they all had cameras. I mean, come on. Especially, let's just be real. Especially if there were illegal happenings around that area because it was remote, they would know that, and you would also want to be able to prosecute anybody who broke into your house because you got a whole lot of criminals out there criminaling, and so you're gonna have a trail. You're gonna have to have cameras, out there to protect yourself. I'm not saying that they were going to turn anybody in, but it was for protection. Yeah. Yes, I agree. And I can't say those words, Tammy Martin. I can put that up there though. Yeah. And I'm sure a lot of people had cameras. And as we're going to see, hello, can't think of one. Welcome. All right. I am so far behind, y'all.
Oh, you had a schedule? I'm sorry. I'm
What?
bad for schedules. Let me tell you what.
Who had a schedule?
I thought you said you were.
Oh, yeah, but not like that kind of schedule.
Okay.
I'm far behind in the chat because I've been running my
Oh.
mouth.
That's funny because like sometimes I just go into a video and like I will hear kind of what they're saying on the screen and I'm just so into the chat. Like I'm in there just learning stuff and talking to people that, it's a lot of fun. I love the chats. The chats are some of the best parts here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if y'all are watching this and you're not a person that puts the chat replay on after a video, you need to.
Yeah,
I've
live
learned the
chat.
most.
Yes, live chat. Definitely.
And even the comment sections, when I was starting out, I would look at stuff like from TCD and stuff, and the stuff that people put in her comments. I was like, holy Moses. Thank you, Mother of Dragons. Good to see you. Look at Carbon. He has some pics up there supposed to be from McCain and the day the girls went missing. I have not seen that, but like I said, I'm gonna put this up here just because that might be information I need later.
Interesting.
Okay. Who did
If I'm
Jennifer
lucky,
Dean
one of
used
these
to be
days I'll
with?
get to talk to. If I'm lucky, one of these days I'll get to talk to Meow. I've been wanting to for a while. I've learned so much from like her Reddit and all of that. Just good information.
Yeah. Meow was well, we'll talk about it.
And she really cares too, like she's really heartbroken about those girls and
Oh yeah.
she really, she sees something that needs to change and she's trying to change it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's there are a couple of people I miss a whole lot. She's one of them.
Well, I mean, I single her out, but we all are.
Yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
the line
Yeah.
sitters and the it's like literally that's.
Yeah, she's a sweet person too. All right, here's some more cell phone extractions. Again, you can look at this. I did not post this on X, but this is in Prof's community post from sometime this week, I assume. I can't even remember. But yeah, here's all the okay, so here's what I'm saying. All these things are pictures, security camera videos, okay? And there's one that talks about oh yeah, this one right down here. 8116-2. Okay, security video from listen to all these places. Who's Your Harvest Store, the library, Mitchell Mexican Grill, Pizza King, Save a Lot, Shell. I don't know if y'all call it Sunoco or Sunoco. I've heard it both ways. The transfer station, True Value, and Walmart. Okay, again, if you had an ironclad case against Richard Allen and you have this is in discovery, wouldn't that put you you'd know the exact time of anybody who was going where, when, like all of these cameras around.
Yeah.
But we didn't see anything in the trial. We didn't see evidence from all these other places. Well, let me tell you, one reason is because Richard Allen had already left by the time the girls got there, according to his affidavit. But if you could prove that was a lie, then why didn't we see this video? Why didn't we see videos from here?
There was something going around where people were saying that Richard Allen had admitted to seeing the girls on the bridge. Is that true?
He said he passed some girls. I think he said 4 girls. He passed 4 girls.
That's what I thought I remember hearing as well, but
it's never been documented in any legal thing that I've seen that said he saw Abby and Libby. Now, Betsy Blair believes that she saw Abby and Libby, but the problem with that is that Kelsey had been out there with her best friend. Wasn't it Bree? Yeah, Kelsey and Bree were out there,
Have we
not at the
seen
same time.
Betsy's Apple Health data?
What?
Do we have Betsy's Apple Health data? Do we have her data? Her phone data?
I don't know. It could be in here somewhere.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, that's fine. We can look. But the problem is Kelsey and Libby look so much alike. If you didn't know them well, you could easily mistake one for the other. Strangely enough, Bree and Abby looked a heck of a lot alike. Could Kelsey and Bree be mistaken by someone who didn't really know them well for Abby and Libby? Yeah, 100%.
Sure.
Because I've seen pictures of Kelsey and Bree, and when I first look at the picture, I'm like, oh, I haven't seen that picture of Abby and Libby, and then I'm like, oh, wait, that's not Libby, that's not Abby, but it's because I've looked at their pictures so much,
Well, for a long time, all we had was that. We just had a couple pictures, but recently there's those videos that have been released where you're seeing some of their personality and.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Kat.
I saw some real disturbing. I'm not going to go there tonight, but
Okay.
I saw some pictures it wasn't crime scene pictures. I saw some pictures that made me question some people. I don't know what the last one is. It's not coming up on my computer. Why? Let me give it a second. Maybe it will. There was one last one. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's basically what I wanted to show you is all of the all of the data, all of the pictures, all of the videos, all the trail cams.
Yeah.
But yet we were forced to look for somebody for Bridge Guy that was actually just a little dot in the background when you had all of these cameras out on the trails through town.
Well, I wonder,
everywhere.
I think those FBI cameras were put up afterwards to catch anybody that might have come through.
Yes, I can see that. But do I think that Ron Logan and the Mears and the Weavers and everybody else in that area, I think they had their cameras. I mean, how would you know? Because I just think about it, how people have said they were out on the trails or they were out on the bridge and one of the neighbors would come and tell them they were trespassing. How would you know? I mean, nobody's sitting out in their living room with binoculars 24/7. So how would people know? How would they know unless they had some kind of alert? It's just kind of like when you have a home, camera and you're at work and your phone alerts you that, hey, there's movement here. Somebody came to your door and you're like, what?
I think most people have that now.
So,
yeah.
All right, let me get back to chat. Go ahead, and is there anything that you want to address in the chat?
Well, Kat's here, and Kat just came in. She says hi to you.
Oh, hey! I absolutely loved. Hey, y'all, follow if you're on X, follow Catastrophe. Really good stuff. I did a video. You had a really good post. I had to do a whole video about it because I loved it. Loved the whole thing. And somewhere in here, talking about things being gone, that was something else. I heard, I'm going to throw this up here and let me just say, I don't know if this is true or not, but I was not in a live, but I heard this actually this week.
I don't know. I do know that there's a former FBI agent named Mike German that looks like he could be blood to Kelsey and Libby. If you look that up, have you seen that picture?
Mm-hmm.
If you put them side by side, I don't know.
I have seen that picture. I didn't see that he was related, but I thought how odd because they're very similar looking.
Yeah.
To me,
But
I mean,
would
I
say
can.
that. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. To me, Libby looked like Derek, but they all kind of look alike. Like Kelsey looks like Libby. It's the same kind of coloring, the same kind of facial structures. I don't know if that's her dad or her uncle. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
So don't go out and say I said, because I didn't. I said I heard it. I heard that rumor.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I think just the victimology, and the most obvious thing for me would just be that relationship with the father, who's got certain abilities and certain kind of knowledge set. And it turns out there's a lot of folks there with that interest. And why that's just so, I think it's a lot less difficult to talk about now. And I think a lot of other people are talking about it openly. So, and the more that happens, like, if we're wrong, then just prove it. It's very simple. Just prove it.
Yeah. I heard that too, Tammy Martin. I heard that somebody, I actually wasn't watching Prof. And maybe I read it, somebody quoted from him. I don't know.
Hey, Samantha.
Yeah, hey Samantha. It's all right. It's okay.
And hey, Jen.
This
Hey,
chat's
Jen P.
my chats are pretty good. Hello,
Oh,
Sunday
yeah.
Soapbox.
Yeah.
I don't know, Evil Alaska. I have never heard that.
Was a bloody jersey with Kelsey's name found in the creek. She threw it away at Dairy Queen. Coworker turned it into law enforcement. I don't know.
It wouldn't surprise me. Look, I have a huge problem with the change of clothing. Okay, I don't buy it. I think it's all BS. I've thought it was BS since they said, "Oh, we made a mistake." No, that was crap. It was all crap. I had a couple of things too. Let me get back to my notes because I had a few questions that I wanted to ask y'all. Y'all would not believe, I've got notes everywhere. I am so unorganized. And I just realized I had some on my phone.
The chart with all the lines between people, and you'd need like several rooms in your house done with that. Like, you'd have lines going down the hall.
Exactly. I thought about it. I thought about doing that. Come on now. In this room. And I'm like, do I really want people to come over and see all the lines, just like the police do, and have all this stuff? I'm like, I don't know.
I think it would be a fun set idea if you could pull it off somehow with like the back behind you, just have everybody up there, and I think it would be a cool set idea.
That really is a good idea.
You should do that.
But the thing of it is there's so much information. I have limited space. Like the wall behind me.
Yeah.
Like, I've got other walls that are really big, but I have furniture in front of them. This wall doesn't have that much, but it's not that big, and I have things. Not doxing myself, but I've got things going other directions. I'm like,
Well, you haven't gone all in Delphi until you've got a room with your walls all.
Yeah. Okay.
Papers all over the floor.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, they're in two different computers, my phone, and then different apps on my phones, in folders, and on X. I mean, like, they're just everywhere. They're everywhere. Okay, somebody, and this might have come up on Case by Case because I wrote it down. I think that's what I was listening to. Then my brain started whirling. Okay, somebody was talking about Abby's blood being missing, and I don't think I'm supposed to say that word, but I just did.
Which one, blood or missing?
The red stuff. Yeah. the red rum.
Yeah.
That's But
I think it was 40% or 60% gone, something like that.
Yeah, and so people were saying, was it pulled in the hoodie, in the black hoodie? Was it pulled back there? I never saw anything that said it was or wasn't, but looking at the crime scene pictures, I mean, it could have been soaked into the ground, but again, that doesn't surprise me because I do not think that either one of them were unalived there, or let me say this, not at that time. Okay, not at that time.
Yeah.
At the very least. Um, do I think it was possible for Richard Allen or any one person? Okay, whether you want to say it's Richard if you want to believe that, or somebody else. You can't tell me that one person could do all this in basically 45 minutes to an hour. Then you got to take the bodies. Have y'all ever tried to lift a dead body? Because I have. It is almost impossible, even if they're tiny. I'm a nurse, y'all. Okay, so don't think anything's crazy. I've lifted many a dead body. You have to have help, even when they're tiny. And so you're going to tell me that he unalived them both, and then what? Did he wash Abby in the creek? Because she was pristine. Remember? That's the whole term, pristine. So you're going to be able to drag a body, wash it, clean it up, redress it. No, it's not possible. It is not possible to do that. I'm sorry. And I don't know where the jury, I guess the jury has no experience. Well, no, I take that back. There was a nurse on the jury. So what?
So, okay, have we been left with there were no defensive wounds, the girls did not fight?
That's my understanding.
So, I've heard people mention maybe that the girls were held down, by several people or something. And I'm wondering if that wouldn't leave some struggle. Like if you were in fight for your life,
Yeah.
I think that there's going to be some bruising necessarily. Even if you got a big, say 6'6" guy that's about 350 holding on to you. Mm-hmm. I think even then there might be a little bit, right? So that's
Right.
why I am so skeptical of the talks. I'm not saying that people who have seen it are wrong, but there might be something that's public and might be something that's private. I don't know.
I don't know. I just, I'm looking at the crime scene and I'm, they want to say, see that it all doesn't make sense. They want to say after 6-7 years, we were mistaken. Those weren't the clothes they were wearing. Abby was wearing this big sweatshirt of Abby's and her jeans. Come on, whatever. And so they're saying Libby wore the black hoodie. We were wrong about the tie-dyed shirt. First of all, that's a big difference, okay? But so you want to tell me, and I've listened to it, and I'm not even going to say the name. I was like puking in my mouth when I heard the guy saying, oh, so it was just a mistake, and he's leading his audience like the whatever he is. Gonna be nice here because I'm on camera. But yeah, that's the only reason. Let me just tell you, internet's forever.
That is true. That is true.
And so I'm gonna be nice on live, but yeah, the interesting character that he is, he's just like convincing everybody. And they're just buying it. I'm looking at the chat and I'm like, are y'all really that stupid? Really? No wonder you think Richard Allen is guilty because you're dumb and you don't ask questions. But aside from that.
Who are we talking about? Are we talking about sleuth intuition here?
No. Was what? Is somebody talking about sleuth?
No.
I'm not talking about sleuth.
Okay.
I'm not talking about sleuth.
You were just talking about gaslighting and I just thought somebody, okay. He just came to mind for whatever reason.
I told you
nothing against the guy, but it could just be a business model. I don't know.
When I texted you the other day, a week or so ago, and I remember I said you need to go. Anyway, I would. I'm not. I would have paid money to see that. I would have paid money.
Oh
That's
yeah.
all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Okay, no, but it wasn't Sleuth. It was somebody else, and so now everything. I see so many videos and reenactments where they have changed the clothes. All right, so you want to tell me that the clothes have been changed, but then explain to me why they found the tie-dyed shirt in the creek. Where'd that come from?
I have no idea.
So basically, because you have a huge problem right there. If the girls left, as they said, for 6+ years, the girls both had, Libby had on the tie-dyed shirt, Abby had on the pink or red, shirt, and she had a gray jacket over it, supposedly Kelsey's, but obviously not Kelsey's when you look at the bridge picture, which I think is a fake anyway, but it fits Abby. Abby was little bitty. If you and apparently Libby had a jacket from Kelsey as well.
Mm-hmm.
If this is what they left in and they were unalived a few hours later, where did the other clothes come from that they were changed into that were theirs, according to the family? Wouldn't you have to go back home? Wouldn't you have to have clothes in the trunk? Wouldn't you have to have clothes somewhere else that belonged specifically to them? See, this is a big problem for the state.
Yeah, add that to the list. I think, is it Rafi who's been talking about some things recently about some people that were down there?
Oh, I don't know. I love Rafi, but I have not seen his stuff recently.
I'm not sure. I just find it interesting, some of the things that he's saying, because, well, you hear what you want to sometimes. So that's why they wanted the medical examiner and crime scene photos sealed. There was an unidentified male and female DNA on the bodies, so screwed up. No, Super Trooper found a box of clothes near Wilson Bridge. I feel like I'm more encouraged than I've ever been. I really feel like something's going to happen this year, so I think this is going to be good. Just keep him alive through the appeals process. I think we're going to learn a lot.
All right.
Yeah, gone forever, Criminal Network says.
Yeah, that was something else in Let me look. There was one other thing. I don't know if it was in here. Let me look real quick. It was talking about the time frame. It was not something that Prof had highlighted. Okay, here we go. Here we go. It's right here. The Delphi DVR original. Okay. Now, due to a DVR program error discovered 8/20/2017, all recordings up to February 20th were recorded over. There is no detectable audio found on this drive. Okay, here's my question. If everything was taped over, you're telling me that you're running a police department and you're talking about there's another place that goes through March. You don't find out till August? You don't realize till August? All these months. So that tells me this. You did not work on this case. You didn't look at those. You didn't look at the interviews. You didn't really analyze them, did you? Because if you had, you would have known immediately they weren't on there. Of course, I believe it's all BS. All of it. But you're telling me it's going to take you that many months to realize, it wasn't recording. Well, that is incompetence. That is sloppy police work. It's unforgivable. What happened? Let's take Delphi out of it. What happened all those other months?
That's a good word. And I think, to Kat's point there, that they didn't tell the defense until January 30th, 2024. So, all that's not incompetence. That's, what is that?
It's
the links that the state of Indiana will go to do harm.
Yeah. I want you to see
Everybody
it.
should take notice.
Yeah.
Everyone should take notice.
Absolutely. I didn't realize I didn't have this up here. So if you look on these papers again, this is from Prof. It's right under here. It's right here. Okay, that's where they said this. Then they go on. They go on. Here's another little gem on another drive. Okay, containing uncatalogued interviews from the Franklin Street Investigation Center. So this is, there. Okay, this is the one that's from 2/25/17 to 4/7/2017. All right, they've got the interviews, but there is no detectable audio on the original drive. From which this duplicate was made.
I have a hard time with this. I'm not a hacker. I know people who retrieve data. Mm-hmm. And unless it would be very difficult to make it so that the audio they couldn't retrieve those records. It would be very difficult.
Well, you know about the Marathon gas station fiasco, or have you heard that one?
I've heard it mentioned.
Yeah.
I've heard it, yeah. Why? I guess that Marathon gas station's server, it's all gone. Also corrupted.
Yeah, the original was corrupted. The drive was corrupted. The copy was corrupted. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much incompetence here.
You're starting to sound like a conspiracy theorist. Are you saying that those boys were up to no good or what?
Well, I'm beginning to think.
You're starting to sound like a weirdo.
I know. Where's the tinfoil hat? It's always close by.
Exactly, yeah.
I know.
Tinfoil hats.
Look, but that's the thing. That's what got me about this case.
Software.
What? What did I miss?
I just see, if I had seen that in chat, like if I had been in chat just now, I would have been on the floor. I would have sent me to the ground.
What is?
Oh my goodness.
Wait.
It was just Kat saying that Mullen claimed it was Chinese software or something like that.
Oh, okay.
I'm saying like at the hardware level, like when you're recording onto, like in zeros and ones onto a hard disk, that information is very retrievable. Even if you record over it, it's all very retrievable.
Yes. There's just too many. When a case like this, it's like you can say, okay, you can have one thing could be corrupted. Maybe they made a mistake on one, a day or two. They missed somebody's interview. Like, there's just too many. It's like, really? How dumb do you think I am? Like, that's what gets me. That's what gets me about that. You literally think I am a blooming idiot to believe that all this stuff can go wrong. No, that's how I ended up here. Just looking into Richard Allen's, literally just looking into his background when he got arrested. And things, didn't add up.
Yeah. Well, so when you showed up, like you were saying, it was Richard Allen was kind of, you hadn't seen the whole parade of suspects beforehand. Yeah.
No, I had I had followed the case. Like, there's a lot of crime cases I know a little bit about because I watched one news program or something on them, and so I had followed it. I'd heard of it when it was the Snapchat murders, and because it was a very catchy title. And I was like, I remember watching some documentary thinking, how come they can't figure out who that guy is? Ridge guy. They've got a picture. I believed the whole thing. And then I didn't follow it closely. And then Richard Allen, I was on this channel doing something completely different. Had nothing to do with anything. And I felt so bad I was buying into it. I assumed at that point that the police knew what they were doing and that Richard Allen was guilty. But I felt so bad for Kathy because she immediately had to leave town. She was getting threats. And I just took my tiny little platform that nobody really watched in those days. And I just said, I put out a video and I'm like, hey, look, I know he's the guy, but let's not crucify his family. Okay. We don't know that she knew anything. Y'all, that's all I did. And that video got so many views. And I was like, what? Let me do another video on Richard Allen. So I was going in the vein of trying to prove why he was the perpetrator. And as soon as I started looking into him and his past and his profile, I'm like, wait a second. This is not like any other criminal I have ever studied. Ever. Like, this just doesn't tick any of the boxes. And then I started looking and I was like, wait a second. About 4 videos in, I'm like, hold on, something is really stinky in Delphi. And now I was interested.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'd never really been into true crime, and it's kind of it's eye-opening for me, seeing what's going on there in Indiana. Because most people just feel that if the police get them, most of the time it's the right guy. But like the level of...
I'm sorry, I just read one of the comments.
Oh yeah, it'll do it. What did you read? Who said it?
I'm sorry, I'm snorting.
They got you snorting and everything.
Yes, they do have me snorting. Criminal
Somebody
Network, you are
that.
hilarious.
Somebody clip that.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put it up here.
Oh.
But read the one right after Candy M. And she's talking about a fupa.
They don't brush their hair? Oh, yeah. The spirit box one? Yeah, I saw that one a little bit ago.
Yeah, I was dying at that because that is a term that we use around here in Alabama, fupa. So so I know exactly what you're talking. I'm dying.
Yeah.
But anyway, Criminal Network, I would love to do a show with you.
Yeah.
I would love it.
I know there's so many people in that's the thing. There's just so many people that know.
Mm-hmm.
There are. So that thing I was saying about the it says Smith said low light teaches us to trust law enforcement and cooperate, believe law enforcement. Yeah, like the thing I said about the retrieving the sound data. I've asked a couple people that really know about this, and they seem to think that you should be able to get that. So whether or not they did, I don't know. Maybe we should crowdfund an expert to do it. I don't know. Do those things even exist anymore? Who knows? Yeah. I think we'll find out a lot more in this second trial. I really do. I think the defense will be probably allowed to do that. So we'll see. I think, the DHS stuff is something that I'm interested in seeing. Everything else, everything that we've got or that Nick McClellan and all of them had their hands on, and I don't trust it.
Well, that's the thing.
It's been established, though, that they did something with the face way in the background. I mean, the photo manipulation, the person who does it for a living, she was saying, what's her name? It's like Hellamad or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember.
She's Aussie.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Chat probably knows. All right, I wanted to...
So you're going to do a show with Criminal Network? Is that what you're saying?
I said I would love to.
Oh, I thought you were going to. All right.
No, I would love to. Criminal
Excited
Network.
Utterance. There we go.
Let's do it. I think that would be hilarious. Well, and you know so much, and you're funny. That's always good.
Criminal Network knows quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do, and I know not like in my chat. I have regular people who know so much, And back when I started 2 years ago, or almost 3 now, I don't even know. It's years. There were some researchers that had so much good information, and they would come in my chat or put comments on my videos, and literally some of those people had to go into hiding. And I know, that they're okay, but I don't know what happened. I just know that they got some kind of, I don't know, pushback. I don't know what they did. I mean,
There seems
like,
to be some of that because there are some really talented creators that will not talk about Delphi to save their life.
mm-hmm. Yeah.
And you're thinking,
Yeah.
well, you've got this following and people are hungry for Delphi. Why aren't you talking about Delphi? Like,
Right. Because
you'll
get swatted like I did.
There's the weirdness. These people do fight.
Yeah.
They bite back. And, you don't just see a bear there you're poking. That is a bear you're poking. And it puts people in prison. It you know what I mean? It does all kinds of horrible things. So.
Yeah. I mean, I assume people don't want the weird things that have happened to me this year, and they don't want to see the police up and down their driveway coming to take all your equipment and scrutinize you.
See, that's one of the like maybe a valuable thing would be like a creator's pack that they can take to their local law enforcement, to say like, okay, these are other creators in other jurisdictions and this is what the cops have been doing to them over there. So here's this. If you get a call from Jerry Holman, just fucking ignore it. And if there's a SWAT, it's not me,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, well, I've been to my local police with that. So I mean, having a little pack would go a long way to taking them, make them take you more seriously. It's like, hi, I have opinions on Twitter that make the police come after me. Well, stop talking. Like, well, no, I'm not going to do that.
Exactly. I know. I'm trying to balance it now because, some of my family have begged me to just shut up after the events of the past few months. And I'm like, I can't. Because what if it was you? What if it was me in this situation? Like, who is going to stand up? Who's going to do it? I can't. And I mean, of course and now I'm in YouTube jail over something else. It's just like, okay, well, whatever.
Well, that's
okay.
good. I mean, at least I'm not going to do too much harm. You're already in jail. Like,
yeah.
Just my social credit score couldn't be any lower. Let's just. Let's just.
Yeah, my social credit. I'm glad we don't go on that yet. My social credit apparently for the past couple of months has really plummeted. That's okay. I'm gonna do what's right. So there, it is what it is.
This is one of the tweets that what people can just do with a little emphasis. I'm gonna go grab a water real fast. I'll be right back.
Okay. That's fine. I'll talk to the chat. Tammy Martin, Warlion put out a few videos ago. You can see where there is another person scrubbed out on the right of BG. On one of his stills of BG, I see people in the background behind Bridge Guy. Check it out. I don't Warlion love that channel. I don't know if I saw it from him. I've seen it before. I've seen it like a long time ago and it may have been EOA. Somebody put out photos where it was very suspiciously. I mean, I'll just tell you this. I did a video because I've always had a problem with the Abby picture that was on Libby's phone. That wasn't on Libby's phone because it was a bunch of crap. As we found out. But when I looked at that picture, I took it straight from the New York Times, like I swiped it. And there was when you blow it up, you can see that there are, when everything is pixelated, okay? Everything is done in pixels. When you have big swipe lines, you don't have pixels, you got big swipe lines, that's a problem. I'm like, what was in this picture that they had to swipe out? And it's where the trees are and it's further back, but I'm like, and it wasn't on the bridge. I'm like, so what was going on? What was in that picture that they needed to make a mess out of this? But yeah, I really do appreciate Warline for that. Samantha, we know you're not an AI channel because you got put in social media jail. Yeah. I don't know. AI could probably get in jail, but I make too many mistakes. I don't think your AI is going to snort and all that kind of stuff. I do. I make too many mistakes. Y'all know. Hey, Shay Watson, how you doing? How many coincidences does it take before it becomes mathematically impossible? Absolutely. I mean, like, come on. Okay, Tammy says that EOA had one, has one too. Oh, okay. But this one shows movement of steps that were scrubbed. Oh, but people sitting on the bridge. One guy in a black hoodie. A black hoodie. I'll have to go over there and look at that. I don't know what it is. And I know a lot of us creators have talked about it. From time to time, you get, like, you literally just get unsubscribed from somebody, because I was subscribed to Warlion and some of the others, and yet they never come up. Even if you hit the bell, they never come up in my feed. And then sometimes I find I'm unsubscribed and I'm like, I didn't do that. YouTube, what are you doing? But I'll have to look. Yeah, that's very interesting. I'm gonna have to look at that. Thanks, Tammy, for letting me know. All right, I wanted to look at how long we've been going. Oh God, really? We've been on that long? Jeez, doesn't seem like we've been on that long. Okay, well, I'll probably stop with this one because I've got this one pulled up. Let me put it where I can see it. And this is, let me show you who it's by. I always want to give props to whoever posted this. Jenna DeBlanc, comparing the original Ron Logan confession as told by Ricky Davis, found in the defense's MTCE, to the state's version of the Ron Logan confession, written in Slick Nick McClellan's response. Omissions. Okay, so here's the color code. Omissions by Slick Nick, are in blue. Changes that he made are in yellow. And additions are in pink. Now, at first when I looked at this, I was like, okay, well, maybe look, I know I shouldn't give anybody the benefit of the doubt, but I try to be fair to everybody, even the McClellans of the world. And I was like, maybe he just wanted to condense the words because, whatever. Oh, but no. Let me see. Make sure you can see this.
Nick's just trying to make it easier for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, I was trying. Where did it go? What the heck? Hold on.
Hey, did we ever positively identify exactly who was sending out those phishing emails?
Who's what?
Who was sending the phishing emails?
I don't know. I don't. I basically don't look at anything that I don't know who it is. I usually know who's sending me email. so I don't click on anything. Okay, but this is what Ricky Davis actually said. Okay, now I'm not going to read all of this, but it goes into detail. The thing that really hit me on this, because he talks about, according to Ricky Davis, Ron Logan, said he had animals, and obviously Abby wanted to see him, and although he doesn't say the names, but he told them that he had rabbits in the barn, so they walked through the trail in the woods, blah blah blah. Okay, he said that he got scared, um, and you can see there's more to this, and he unalived the older one first. But now here in the bottom is where I have a big problem, okay? Because he feels like he thought that he might have dripped some blood from his nose, Ron did, onto the clothes of the girls. And so he didn't want his DNA to be found. So it said, okay, he said he burned his clothes in the burn pile. Okay, so he wanted to burn the evidence. Boots, gloves, bag, soles of boots. All right. Now, when you get over here to what the state says, along with all this, and this is just the one thing, it says that he took the girl's clothing from the scene and burned. Okay, that's going to make a huge difference. And not only is it completely changing it, but you're changing the whole validity of it, because we know the girl's clothes were found, or most of them. So obviously he didn't burn the girl's clothes, as Nick said, or, if he had, so that makes the whole confession by Ricky Davis in error. You see what I'm saying? Well, the girl's clothes. So obviously he was wrong about the clothes, what Ron said. So that's just a bogus confession. But that's not what he said. He said Ron burnt his own clothes. You see what Slick Nick's doing here? And then he makes you think.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not a lawyer. I don't have any social skills, so I don't have to be polite. We just know that Nick is really comfortable with lying.
Well, it ain't
Even
just
if it
his
does
hairdo.
harm.
That's not why he got the Slick Nick nickname. It wasn't his hair. It could have been, but it's not. All right. So, I looked at that and I thought, okay, yeah, you are subtly just like the serpent that you are. You are
Recently,
huh?
Didn't someone recently request an interview with the person who gave the tip on Ron Logan, and IDOC said
Yes.
they cited safety concerns and said no, you can't talk to him.
Yes. I saw that. I actually saw that on X as well. I don't know if I reposted it or not. And I'm like, well, of course they're not going to. Of course they're not. It's Indiana. Come on.
Yeah.
It's the Delphi case.
I think that you give it a couple weeks. Tops. I think in 2 weeks, we're going to have a completely different landscape. Look at
I
my
hope
hair.
so.
I need to... I can never get my left and my right when I'm on camera. It's terrible.
I mean, I hope you're right, Low Life. I do, because I so much want this case to be done.
I'm not saying that, I think Rick is going to be free in 2 weeks, but I think that we're going to see a completely different.
I mean, even if we were on some kind of right track, because I don't want to have to wait for 2 years for Richard Allen to be rotting in the jail.
I don't think that we're going to have to worry about that.
I hope not.
No.
Okay. All right.
I think in my worst nightmare that Kash Patel doesn't know about the biggest murder case on the planet. I think that, I don't understand the room that well. I think that this is a big deal. I think that everybody sees it.
I hope. I hope you're
Well,
right.
like I was saying, locking down Allen County and doing body searches is not a power move. That is a move that you do in weakness. Like, they're scared. I mean, I don't know what's going on in that courthouse, but they're not letting people in without searches. You don't do that unless you're guilty.
Right. I mean, it's kind of like you have to think, has someone just made them feel so protected that they can be completely wild and just flaunt their, disdain for due process
Well,
and
apparently
not
they've been
worry?
doing that. Apparently,
Yeah.
like until this, like lots of people that I've heard from have said, "Look, this is common. This is not uncommon."
Yeah, but I realize that about Indiana, and I get it. But here's the thing: you can see this happening to people that me, little old me in Alabama. I didn't hear about Jesse Snyder. Okay, it never made the news. They do all this kind of crap, but it's localized. But you have a case like Delphi, and you've got the whole world watching, and then you are going to be this open. Like, this is mind blowing to me when everybody's looking at you.
I don't know a lot about politics, but I don't think that Trump and Pence are like close.
No, absolutely not.
And that's his state, and it looks like there's a fake Christian mafia that runs it. I mean, that's what it looks like to me. One of the most ridiculous things I've ever seen was Doug Carter swaying in the background, praying while Nick McClelland blew smoke up everybody's ass.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Do you know what I'm talking about? If you just look at the video, he's there in the background with his eyes closed, swaying, praying, then coming out talking about how in this country we call the United States of America. I was like, come on, man.
Did
Seriously?
you see I have Apophysis comment?
He says he knows about it, and then I'm looking for something
I'm
before
thinking
and after
the
that.
EOA means, I think when we were talking about like higher powers, not like God, but not that high.
Like Jay Abbott, or about
I don't know.
Cash
I
Patel?
could be misreading.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, if I is talking about it, like, I've been trying to reach out to Cash Patel. If I'm doing it, I know 20 other people are too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's one of the things that scares the court system about this group of people, is that, like, we are rattling cages at the highest level of government.
Well,
some of us are sending
my personal
FOIAs.
life would suggest
Like,
that.
They know who you are,
You gotta laugh. What else can you do?
Yeah,
I mean. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna finish this one little thing, and then we'll just ask if anybody has anything else they want to talk about. Again, talking about burning his clothes. All right. You see the little differences though in what the defense says. He said, talking about Ron Logan, he left again, came back later in the evening. The search was going on. Then the state says, oh, he went back to the scene after the search parties searched his property. But I mean, the point is, do you see how these subtle changes change the story? So the defense puts up one thing because they're looking at the paperwork, they're looking at the interviews. I certainly assume that they're right on it. And I can tell you from the discrepancies I've seen in the PCA and the other stuff, like the state lies like I don't know. We say lies like a rug. But anyway, this is why you have to be able to compare. You have to look at things with both eyes open and your brain working, because little changes in the way the state is doing it is trying to make you feel like there's no reason to look into Ricky Davis. There's no reason to interview him again. There's no reason to say there's any validity to his confession because look, that's not what happened. This one I loved. Okay. The defense talking about the phone, blah blah blah, and we are. I've got the stuff that says, from the trial, basically saying there was no water damage, blah blah blah. But this was interesting. The state says, and this is a very important lie, because he says that according to Davis, Ron Logan said that he removed the cell phone battery from the girl's phone and left the phone behind. And that he took the girl's clothing from the scene and burned. Okay. Oh, lies, lies, lies. We
Kat
know
has a good
from.
comment you might want to put up there.
Oh, wait a second. I can't see
But
it. Let
keep
me go
going.
back. Who does? Who had a good comment?
Kat did.
Who?
Catastrophe.
Oh, okay. Let me find it.
Sorry, I just shortened to Kat all the time.
Well, I've got, because we're still having audio problems, y'all. So I've actually got him. I can't hear in my ears.
Oh.
I don't know what's wrong. So I've got you on a computer way over there. So
It's funny because
very
last
low.
time I had to have my headphones off, and now it doesn't matter what happens. It's very strange.
Okay, is this what you're talking about?
It is.
Okay, Ricky claims to case by case he was writing letters to McClelland.
Totally believable.
Yeah. Well, so did Todd Click, and the whole thing. When they arrested Richard Allen, he was like, "Hey, dude, you got the wrong guy." Ignored. But yeah, I mean, but these are the things in court with the phone experts. They never said anything about the battery being taken out of the iPhone. That definitely would have been something that would have been they would have been able to track. So again, the state is telling you things that you already know are not true, if everything, assuming that the trial was correct. Again, it's just making people believe that there is no validity, because that's what they do. It's it's all smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, don't believe anything but your lying eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, Candy M. People trusted Nick and gave him evidence so it could get overlooked or destroyed or twisted. Yeah. I saw that Nancy Drew. Hello. Did I say hello to you? I did see that they were going to have. I'm not even going to put that up there because that makes me mad.
Yeah, is that the one about Patty's gonna do an interview and they want RA to ask forgiveness?
Yeah.
Let's see how that ages.
Yeah. Perfect. Let's see how that ages. Absolutely. Hey woman, did you just get in here or just haven't seen you?
She just got in here.
Okay. Good to see you.
You always have good chats. It's always good people.
I do. I have the best. I tell everybody I have the best chat. I do. And you're right about the troll farm. I didn't really think about it because I would get trolled sometimes, but mostly I didn't get trolled there for a long time. It was more of an odd thing. And I just thought, I guess I'm not, that big of a threat. They're busy trolling everybody else. But I really don't know if that was true or what the reason was, but I mean, I've always been the same. I guess I wasn't, for a long time though, I was sat on the fence saying, I don't think he's guilty, but if he is, show me. And then after the trial, I'm like, you can show me squat. But anyway, yeah, but in general, the troll farm has really, really quieted down. Mm-hmm. And
yeah,
I didn't really think about it because I didn't deal with it on a daily like a lot of other creators did. And even when I'm in other people's chats, I don't see I mean, you might have an odd comment here or there, but you really don't see it like you used to. They used to troll hard. And yeah, you should ask yourself why. Why are they stopping? Good question.
Probably for the same reason that Gull is body searching people that are walking through the door.
Checking those those prison pockets.
Those prison pockets.
Oh my God. I hope I never have to use that.
Wow. So
you never know. But yeah. So you feel like where do you think? Okay, because you said a lot of times tonight you feel like where something is going to change. Can you just with what you're comfortable with saying? How do you? What does it look like? The future in your eyes right now?
Well, I think it's pretty obvious that there's going to be some changes on, in the FBI, and their involvement will become probably more apparent, as will federal investigators. I don't, I think a lot of the changes are happening like really, really fast. It's kind of, I don't know, a little off-putting. Kind of like, are we going on a war footing or something here? It's like a lot of changes. But anyways, so I think that these people are not afraid. I mean, they're just walking into the Treasury and just like ripping shit out. What do you think they're going to do to Indiana? You think, like, once Kash Patel gets in there, like everybody else that has taken a place in this administration, as soon as they come on the scene, they start, I don't even think, what was his name? The first guy, Rubio. I don't even think he had his office decorated before he was in Panama.
Wow.
So what do you think Kash Patel is going to do? And this is one of the most high-profile murders on the planet. Naked corruption.
I hope.
And then a population of people who literally span the entire political spectrum, from the left to the right, all cooperating, screaming about this one thing that we want fixed.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then, instead of projecting strength, Gull locks down courthouses and counties and public, and it denies access to public information. Now, if you're her clerk or if you're on that staff, I mean, are you complicit?
I'd be worried.
I would. I mean, I'd be looking at my secretaries. I'd be looking at my legal people. I'd be like, okay, somebody's gonna, it's not a comfortable position. They're not allowing electronic devices. They are scared as fuck, and they should be. They should be. We have lawyers. We have FOIA people. We have people who will come back repeatedly, time after time after time, after being threatened, after being intimidated, after being swatted, after being all of that. We will keep coming back saying, we don't like this sandwich.
Yeah. I guess I'm just a little bit worried. Like, there's some really, really big players that have nothing to do with Delphi. I'm just thinking Kash is going to be busy. I hope he's not too busy to have somebody on this case. That's always been my hope. Like, if we don't shut up and we just keep talking, even if we're rehashing it, finding any new stuff we can and bringing it to people's attention, just don't shut up about it, because eventually, you hope somebody's going to do something. And I hope it's sooner rather than later. Like, oh my God, some of the other rabbit holes that I've gone down have nothing to do with Delphi. And I'm like, man, this is really important. And I don't know what he's going to be focusing on. But, there's more than just him. He'll have a whole staff. So hopefully.
A lot of these people, like, they're wrapping up the Hollywood Fall Guys before he even hit the scene. But Catastrophe's asking about who might be the patsy or whatever. I don't know. Maybe Logan might wind up being the patsy.
I mean, I don't know.
The guy that goes down for all of it. I mean, he did admit to all of it.
Well, my thought,
I don't know if that's the direction they're going to go. They do have Jay Abbott, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jay Abbott was materially false statements made about
yes,
the girls. So it's a target-rich environment. You're right. But I think this is, we've been on this so long and we have not been heard for so long that I don't think we understand just people see.
yeah,
People see. And I'll tell you this, like within a couple of weeks, I've been talking to somebody for a while, and this guy is, he's interviewed Kash Patel 3-4 times now. And I'm pretty sure if he's on, screen again with Kash, that he would let me come on and say something. But
I hope so. I do.
And I'm sure, I was on earlier saying that, and I'm sure we've been just rattling cages literally everywhere. So whoever will listen, we tried everywhere.
Yeah. Well, my thought is, I don't know how deep this goes. I mean, you could go into a lot of things. Some
Alex
information.
does.
What?
Have you seen Alex's magnum opus? Alex Voorhees. Weird Alex. Oh my goodness, you got to check it out.
I don't know why I didn't mean to do that. Let's see.
Oh, no, you're fine.
No, I'm gonna have to look. I'm behind on everything. Let's see. But yeah, that's my hope. That's my hope. And I don't know how far it goes, but my gut feeling has been for a very long time that this case is a mirror case to Boys on the Tracks, even though we're talking about decades in between. I feel like it's the same case. I feel like it's pretty much the exact same case, just different names. Put this slot. I mean, if you ever look at a comparison of Delphi and the details of Boys on the Track, you could, like the names, you can say, okay, well, this would be Nick McClellan, this would be Doug Carter, this would, it's just all there, and it's the exact same thing that went all the way to Washington D.C. So, could this little tiny bit part of it, could it go all the way to the top? Very easily. I want to see the whole thing come down. Most of all, I want justice for Abby and Libby, real justice. I want exposure for everybody involved, and but I want it to stop. I don't want there to be, 4 more girls in Florida, 2 more girls in Delphi, or in any of these surrounding counties. I don't want to hear this again. For the same reasons,
Well, a few people have, intimated that Richard Allen is just the one that we saw, and there's a lot of others. Hopefully, you'll be able to sick, something like I forget the name of the group that goes around and helps people, the Innocence Project.
Oh yeah.
Maybe they would take a look at some of these. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like. I know that it's going to look different if we're involved. Like we've already made a difference. Like like they were not used to this, right? I mean, remember that? It was the press conference they did. It was not a victory lap. Like they were there. They came in defensive, and we did that. So, and if you listen to the rhetoric recently, and people are not happy, and people are like not scared to say it anymore.
Yeah. I don't know. I was some of y'all in the comments, y'all are killing me. I'm trying to listen to low light and be serious, and some of y'all just have me. I'm like, I can't with some of this. It's hysterical. Y'all are so funny. Let's see. One thing I was trying to find it. I can't remember. I'm not going to put it up there, but it was hysterical. It was where is it? I can't find it now. It was really funny. So no, I'm seeing your stuff, and y'all are very, very. Oh, that's funny too. But yeah, I hope that something gets done soon. I know there's a lot of stuff going on, but we'll get there. We got to keep Rick alive. We got to keep Kathy. I hope she's got to keep her hope going. I know she's probably had it very rough since the trial. I can imagine how I'd feel.
I
And
wonder how much mail Rick is getting. I think he's getting a lot of mail.
yeah, I don't know. I don't even have his address. I would like to write.
It'll be on my Twitter feed.
Okay.
You'll see it. Post punk mama.
See, I'm torn.
She'll post pictures of hers.
Oh, okay. Okay. I am torn because I thought about it and I thought, do I write to Rick? I want to write to Rick, but it's like, how much is still going on? Is it something I should or shouldn't do? Do I really want Westfield to have my home address? No. So
That's all real.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. Should I do this? I don't know. I do hope that Kathy watches some creator, some of us, whoever, she likes. I hope that she does listen to some of us and know that we're doing everything that we can, everything we know to do to keep this case, in the public eye, to give Rick hope, to get public awareness. Somebody needs to get angry. Somebody in government high up that has a soul left. I'm assuming most don't. Somebody has a heart and soul that, understands that, gets as mad as we do about corruption. That's all we can do at this point. It's like somebody said, yeah, call, write, call, yeah, and hope you don't get swatted. Exactly. Or start a YouTube channel and know that you will get swatted. Whatever. It is what it is. All right. Would you give the name of your Rumble channel again to everybody?
Okay, so the one that I've started just for this brief project, in just a few videos, is called The Virtue Signal.
Okay.
And just one word, The Virtue Signal, and it's on Rumble. I've linked it on my Twitter, so
okay.
It looks like I think everybody that's in chat, it pretty much, not everybody, but is on Twitter, and I've followed pretty much all of them. So very easy to find.
And follow him on Twitter, Low Light Recovery. I've got more stuff in this folder. I'm just collecting. I'm collecting stuff, and hopefully, we got so much more to talk about. Not just about Delphi. God Almighty, some of the things. I will say this: I am on Rumble. I uploaded a video today. It's going to get worse. It wasn't tame, but it wasn't that bad. Talking about the things that I cannot talk about on just any platform without going to jail. And so I do have a Rumble channel at Silky Southern Tea. Yeah. it really is much harder for me to work that platform. I'm also on X. I repost a lot of stuff. If you want to be horrified, please look at Silky Southern Tea on X. And we can all be horrified together. Because unfortunately, as much as the Delphi case means to me, I mean, as long and hard as I have fought on this channel for Richard Allen, there are other things that are even more horrifying because it's larger numbers of people and children being harmed. Okay, so there's that. And you, oh my God, if y'all are not mad about the information that's been coming out about our tax dollars and everything else, then you haven't been watching the right news because
No, I've been trying to take an advice from R&M and get out and touch some grass and see some sunshine, and yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, I know. I was just watching a video about that, touching the grass. I think that's why I haven't been going live or doing videos as much the last couple of weeks. That's kind of me. I've realized that I've put so much time into Delphi and into YouTube, and I'm not saying I'm stopping, not by any means, but I realized I'm missing time with my families, time that I usually, if I'm not at work, I'm looking at them, and I'm like, I'm missing so much. And so I'm taking massive scheduled breaks to just hang out with my family while they're here, while we're together, while we can, you know?
Yeah.
So that's what I'm doing.
I have a 7 a.m. So that
Oh,
means
yeah,
I'm
that's right. That's
getting
right.
up at like 4, something like that tomorrow.
Yeah, I've got to get up and take somebody to work in the morning. I'll be up, so I'll be listening.
It's a really
All right.
good idea. I appreciate it. It was fun.
All right, y'all go join Low Light at the virtue signal. Oh, whatever. Y'all heard what he said. Virtue signal. I can't talk anymore. All right. I thank you for hanging out with us so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Low Light, for coming in. And people always love it when you come in. So,
oh, I love being here.
get some sleep. Well, you're welcome anytime. We can talk. We can talk about anything, not just Delphi. But yeah, have a great night, y'all. Be so safe out there, especially if you live in Indiana. And whatever you do, just stay silky. Bye bye.